Marines could choose to move to the first Civ Div as early as a few months from now. One Sergeant Major makes history, and female Marines test a uniform change.
All that and more coming up next on the Corps Report.
Welcome to the Corps Report. I'm PFC John Tucker.
And I'm Lance Corporal Lisette Leyva. A new MAR admin released yesterday changes the game for some Marines looking to end their service early. The Voluntary Early Enlisted Release Program will allow Marines with an EAS before October of 2014 to separate from the Marine Corps up to a year early. If you want to get out more than 90 days before your original EAS, make sure you submit your package up to be reviewed and processed by the first general officer in your chain of command. As for separations less than 90 days, the general officer's approval is not necessary to process your request. For more information, see the MAR admin. It's linked below in our video description.
Marine Barracks, Washington stands proud in the heart of D.C. as the oldest post in the Corps. And now it's welcoming its first female Sergeant Major. 8th and I welcomed Sergeant Major Angela Manis in a relief and appointment ceremony last week, giving her the reins of a post that's seen some negative headlines in recent years.
Yes, there's history, but I plan to get right back to the basics and teach Marines about respect for themselves, for each other, and for this post.
While her appointment at the post is historic, Sergeant Major Manis says that she's no different from any other Sergeant Major and brings decades of experience with her to the post.
Some of you may have noticed Sergeant Major Manis wearing the male blues cover with her uniform. That's because female Marines at 8th and I are wearing the male uniform items at the Commandant's direction. This parade season will serve as a testing period for the uniform change, with female marchers on the parade deck wearing the male blues and cover. The Commandant will decide at the end of the season whether to put the change on the back burner or institute it Corps-wide. I prefer the traditional cover, but share your opinions in the comments.
Something happening Corps-wide this week, of course, is the 4th of July holiday. Here's a few simple tips on what you can do to make it back to work on Monday. Always have a buddy with you. You never know when you may need some help. Drink responsibly and don't drive if you've had a few. It's a bad idea. A $20 cab ride is a lot cheaper than a DUI. And if you get into any trouble, let your chain of command know immediately. They'd rather hear about it ASAP than wait to hear about it later. On a sad note, I'd like to address that Sergeant Hunter is no longer with us because he's on terminal leave from the Marine Corps. Sorry guys, but you're stuck with us from now on.
Remember, you can catch up with what's going on in the Corps by logging on to our official social media sites at YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and Pinterest. Those links are in our YouTube video description.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week right here on the Corps Report.